At 8 o'clock, we got Florida State, who's 4-1, showing number 14, NC State, who's also 4-1 on the ACC network. Jordan Travis for Florida State has gone 83 of 126, thrown for 1,226 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jashawn Ward on the ground has had 67 carries for 437 yards and 3 touchdowns. Johnny Wilson through the air has had 19 catches for 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. Devin Leary has gone 108 of 172, thrown for 1,135 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Demi Sumo Kongabe has had 44 carries for 262 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Thayer Ahadley Thomas had 24 catches for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. Florida State loses series 26-15 all-time. The last 2 games, though, have gone to NC State in 2020 and 2021. And NC State has won 4 of the last 5 of this matchup. The only victory for Florida State in that time frame was 2019. I think what's going to be really kind of fascinating here is this is a double elimination game, right? We haven't had one of those this week because those teams that are in elimination, that are on the verge of being eliminated, are either playing an undefeated football team or a team that has already been eliminated. We don't have another elimination game this week, a double elimination game, where one team will be eliminated from playoff contention, the other team will continue on. That's what makes this game really fascinating in the late game window between the Seminoles and the Wolfpack, right? I think this game has the possibility of being really, really good, right? The Noles might not have played their best game against Wake Forest at home, but they still played pretty well. I would say that was an honorable effort put up by Florida State against the Wake Forest team that they were outmatched against. They only ended up losing by 10. They ended up trying a comeback at the end of the game, just coming up a little bit short there. NC State, on the other hand, is also coming off a heartbreaking loss against Clemson, a game that was back and forth the majority of the game, just unable to produce on offense near the end of the game. That's what ended up taking the game away, really, from NC State. I think what's going to be really interesting here is the Wolfpack's ability, either of these teams' ability to bounce back after a hard loss against a arguably better team. If NC State wants to stay in playoff contention, which I think they still have a chance at making the playoffs, all these teams do, technically speaking, but I think NC State has the best chance of these two because Florida State still does have to play Clemson, and it's going to be a tough game regardless, but NC State has a great chance here to pull it off and stay up in playoff contention. Give me NC State at home to win and cover the spread.